We should be able to go and actually interact with the tower in the desert, and supposedly we're going to get sent up into the sky.
I really hope so, because this thing has been, like, aggravating. Like, we keep passing by it and trying to park as close as we can, and passing over it again, and oh, that's not where we're supposed to go. Like, I'm so curious. I need to see what's in there by now.
It's funny, because when we first walked up to it, and, like, you couldn't interact with it, it was almost like, have you ever seen the program, like, RPG Maker?
Actually, no, you're the one that introduced me to it.
Yeah, I used to play a lot with RPG Maker 2003 back in the day, and it almost felt like a broken, like, unfinished mechanic. You just try to go up to it, it's like, but nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Yay!
Mirage Tower.
Only the first floor of it. Ooh, boy.
Lots of treasure chests.
Mm-hmm. What kind of weird creeper elementals do you think will be popping out of them this time?
I don't know. But I'm sure they've got criminal records and warrants.
This is new. Guardian?
This looks like some ancient, temple tech.
Yeah, there's something vaguely, like, not quite sci-fi, maybe not even steampunk, more like Bronze Age punk, I don't know.
Like something out of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, this is an ancient tower, and they did imply that the Fiend of Wind, the last one that we have to take out, is in fact the oldest and probably the most powerful of the four.
Mm-hmm.
One would think. Bastet, this is all you. Let your ginger rage fly.
I finally realized what's kind of bothering me. The other three characters have quite a bit of red in their design. I'd argue the white mage is 50-50 white and red in their design, and the little black mage has no red at all. That's not a good balance of your colors.
Well, I mean, Sunny can basically create and conjure fire, so that's kind of red. Found an Aegis shield, which literally does not change the stats for Pumpkin at all.
Oh.
And it doesn't look like anybody else can use it.
We'll sell it later then.
Yep. Oh,
money!
Look at all that money.
Okay, why does Vorpal's sword sound familiar? Have other Final Fantasy titles used that?
Oh, Kenzie can go ahead and use that one. Yeah, it's a common name for weapons in a lot of games. Final Fantasy XI has a sword weapon skill called Vorpal Blade as well.
Oh, okay.
So you've probably seen that pop up in the Final Fantasy XI Let's Play.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy that for once I've seen them use the name of a creature from actual mythology, and it actually looks like what it's supposed to look like. Head of a lion, head of a goat, head of a lizard.
Yep. Yeah, the Chimera is a pretty recurring enemy in, I think, most of the Final Fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
Not as, like, a main villain, but just, like, a recurring, like, trash mob that you fight.
Mm-hmm.
Healing Helm.
Ooh. How's it work?
Kenzie can put it on her noggin and hopefully not get concussed.
This is Kenzie we're talking about.
Yeah, Kenzie would get +5 defense, -1 evasion. I think that's a fair trade.
The mages can't use it? Sunny's still kind of a glass cannon.
They've got ribbons on.
Okay.
That's about I think the best that they're gonna get, to my knowledge. Okay, I think that's all the treasure chests for this floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I see, like, some pads up north.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if those are like an elevator or like a teleportation pad or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have lots of ethers, so if we go full ham on spells, I'm not too concerned. Look how far our cat warriors of light have come since the wee days that their adventure started.
I'm still kind of miffed that you didn't tell me that they get a costume change after I made costumes for our cats.
Ha! Ha!
You just sat there and watched me go full-on crazy cat lady.
No, I gotta make more costumes, damn it. Master, we have waited so long. Oh, I think this is the part, that item we got from that machine in the waterfall cave.
Okay.
Yeah, the warp cube, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think this is where you need to use that.
Okay.
In order to go up the tower. So we shall do that after we throw down. That Nightmare Unicorn just used a move called Snort.
Oh, sorry, I was watching the wrong part of the screen. I don't know what the move was called.
It was called Snort, but I think it missed. Yeah, so no, I think that's what we needed, was the warp cube, which I know we ended up getting that kind of just randomly before we even needed to get it. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Nothing's happening.
Oh, you can't walk onto them? No?
No.
Oh. There's stairs going down on, like, you would need to exit this room, go around this exterior hallway, and go to those stairs.
Yeah, I see a stairwell. Okay, I didn't see that before. Good eye.
That doesn't explain those weird flashy pads or the robot in the corner, but...
Yeah, and the robot's distinctly unhelpful.
Yep.
Master, we've waited for so long. Cool, I command you to tell me what to do. Master, I'm so happy to see you. Okay. I see. I see how it is. Let's try some thunder on these guys.
Still don't even know if they're a biological construct or not.
They literally just look like something that would, like, be in the walls and then just come out and, like, attack intruders.
Well, the way they're kind of awkwardly down on all fours, even though their body doesn't look like it's meant to process that, it reminds me of those weird four-legged machines that you've seen military folks use. Like, they have 4 legs, but their feet are just kind of cushioned balls, and they walk like dogs, and use them as bomb sniffers so they don't have to send real people in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of totter back and forth on these little leggies, and just the way these things are kind of awkwardly crouched over with 4 feet-ish on the ground reminds me of them.
Yep. Well, hey. Home security. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, but the people trying to break in have paid for flamethrowers.
What a wasted investment. These rooms are very, very circular.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is a tower.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, looks like we can get in up at the northwest part there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mummies.
Hello, mummies. There's mummies, and then there's king mummies.
How do you think the mummies figure out what on earth their levels of authority are?
I don't know if I want to answer that.
Because if we're going with, like, Egyptian mythology, they could all be kings, but they could also all be related. So it can be like, well, I'm older than you, yeah, but you died at 16 years old. I actually ruled a bit longer than that.
Well, you've got some semblance of a dong left. I guess you're a king, mummy.
Oh, of course you would go there.
What are they doing? Are they just, like, shooting, like, lasers?
Yeah, they have that weird... Well, I mean, you can't actually see it, but it looks like they have that brass circle on their chest, for lack of better words, and it kind of looks like the beam is coming from there.
Pumpkin's just like, hey, that tickles. I don't remember the laser pointer being this painful.
Pumpkin actually doesn't care about the laser pointer. The girls do, but Pumpkin, for the longest time I was worried my cat had vision problems because he just would not acknowledge that the laser pointer was even there.
Yeah.
The girl cats love it, though. In fact, they kind of need breaks from it, otherwise they go a little overtly gaga. And then anything that sounds like the keychain jingling, they'll come racing over to see if it's the laser pointer.
It's kind of like our kitty adventures of light when it comes to treasure and loot and adventure and all those good things.
Yes.
I can hear the majestic keys of destiny jingling. They call to me. They torture me.
Oh, more of those flashy pad things.
I was gonna pull up the little map thing there, but we ended up getting into a battle.
Yep.
Oh well, that's how we roll. So sorry, back to, I mentioned RPG Maker when we were outside of the tower. So you've never actually really seen it, just a little bit you've seen me play around on it, eh?
Yes, up until recently I didn't really have a computer that could handle that. Like, I had a gaming computer back before they were the beasts that they are nowadays, and I just basically used it as a glorified Skyrim machine. I didn't use it for a lot of extra other stuff.
Yeah, RPG Maker 2003 gives me some real nostalgia vibes from my high school days. I have the program on my computer, and there's newer versions now too. But like, yeah, 2003, my friends and I had so much fun dicking around on that back in the day. Oh, got some loot here. I'll just open these last two chests. Dragon Mail. We also got Thor's Hammer for Bastet.
That sounds like something Bastet would be into, yes.
Dragon Mail, which isn't doing any stat boosts for Pumpkin, so okay. And then we also got Sunblade. Oh, better sword for Pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
The Sunblade. Because you're such a ray of sunshine. But yeah, no. But yeah, no, we played RPG Maker back in the day. Like, you can make your own maps. It's graphics relatively similar to, like, Super Nintendo times. So maybe, like, a little better than this. Make your own maps. Throw your own sprites in. Have their dialogue. Where it gets a little complicated is making, like, triggers and switches that trigger something changing in the game. Like, you talk to this person and it triggers a quest or some kind of change, and then that changes other things, like what other characters might say, or an area that you couldn't access before is now accessible. That's where it can get a little complicated. I actually remember one weird story. I'm not sure if I told you this one from my high school days.
Okay.
So I had like a cheapo laptop that I bought in like my last year of high school. And I had RPG Maker 2003 on it, and, like, you know, it was fun. I didn't really know a lot of what to do with it, but, you know, I had fun just making maps and goofing off and just making silly little projects. And one thing that I did, just for fun, was my high school in the town I grew up in northern Alberta. I went ahead and I thought it would be fun to actually, like, map out the high school. It was a two-story building. And map out the whole high school and just make, like, an RPG Maker style map of the high school. Our friend left on a journey to the west. He took the warp cube and went to see our master. You don't say. All right, let's go up the stairs.
Wonder who the friend was.
And then, so anyways, I make this map, and, you know, you played as me, and there was no fighting, like, no battles or anything. Like, I wasn't nearly that good or that advanced with this program. But, like, I was just having fun making the map, and anybody that wanted to be in the map, I got people's consent. I'd have them in the map, and I'd put, like, all sorts of little, like, weird secrets, you know, made fun of a few teachers that we didn't like, and probably the worst thing I did, and had, like, just, like, it was more of, like, a puzzle-solving RPG than an actual, like, going around fighting monsters and stuff. Oh, we got a battle here.
Okay.
Blue Dragon.
Ooh.
And, so anyway, I'll throw up Proterra here. So, I'm making this map, and I've got all these cool little things, and just silly little puzzles. Like, I think I had one quest where it was literally like one buddy I knew that was dating somebody else was looking for like his missing girlfriend, and she was like trapped in a locker, and you had to like go rescue her and stuff. Like figure out what the locker combination was. Like just silly little things like that. Use the warp cube to travel beyond the sky. It will take you to the flying fortress. Well, glad we went on, got that. So this map that I made, people thought it was cool and kind of like, oh, that's really cool, that's creative, can't wait to see the finished project and all that stuff. And so I make this map, and it caught the attention of some of the teachers. And so this one day I get like called to the principal's office. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the principal's office, and they're like, so is there anything you want to tell us? And I'm like, no. Lovely weather we're having? And they're like, no, like something that you've been doing that you think we might need to know about. And I'm like, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Like I'm not even legit trying to get out of something stupid I did. I legit have no idea what you're talking about. So then they bring up this. Well, we heard you're making like a map of the school. The chest contained a razor. Okay.
Is that like a shank or something?
Oh, I didn't realize Sunny can use cat claws. I guess because we took them off Kenzie. We'll put those on Sunny.
Okay.
It's a razor.
It's a shiv.
Yeah, of no benefit to Kenzie unless she winds up in prison, which she's a thief. It's quite likely. But anyways, so I'm in the principal's office, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we heard you're like making a map of the school," and I was like, oh, yeah, that's... And I told them about the program, and it's just a silly little RPG maker, like, just a silly little project I'm working on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they started, like getting, like, almost, like, more suspicious and, like, grilling me, and I was like... And I just finally asked them, like, okay, like, what's this about? Like, why... What have I done wrong here? What's the issue? Like, it's just a silly... nerdy little project. What's the problem? But you got to keep in mind, this was like early 2000s, like very like shortly after like 9/11 had happened, and of course, there's been like the unfortunate situations of like school shootings and stuff like that. And my story isn't meant to downplay any of those, the severity of any of those events, but they, I guess, were like erring on the side of paranoia, and when they heard I was making a map of the school, they like jumped from like 0 to 1,000, thinking that I was making a map for like some nefarious purpose, like mapping out the school for like some crime or like something like terrorist level or something. And again, not to downplay the severity of those terrible things that have happened, but I'm just sitting there like, how the hell did you go from that to that with, like, no breadcrumbs or evidence in between? Like, what? I was shocked.
Well, I know that there was, and still is, quite a bit of hand-wringing and pearl-clutching over, video games are making the children violent, so even saying that you were making a game on an RPG player... Some of your teachers probably didn't even know what that stood for. So.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think they did. But it was also like, I think all they heard was map, school, student, and they were like, oh no. And I'm just like, oh wow. Like, I mean, I guess good on you for checking. But at the same time, I literally just stared at them in disbelief, and I was like, how the hell did we go from, like, step A to, like, step triple Z squared of possible reasons why I was doing that?
At least they didn't totally chump the gun and get a police officer involved.
Right? I just end up getting arrested, and I'm like, I don't even know what I did. Normally I know what I did, but this time I'm totally lost. Yeah, it was... Yeah, it was a weird experience.
I can safely say I do not have any weird stories of that regard, unless you count the story of me arranging for the police drug sniffer dog to go find my wallet.
The police drug sniffer dog to go find your wallet?
Yes, my best friend is the daughter of, at the time, an active RCMP canine officer.
Oh, okay.
And my best friend and I worked at a Starbucks together, just a little Starbucks inside of a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I walked to work because it was like 2 blocks. I got to work, and my best friend was on shift, and I realized closer to the time that I would have wanted to buy myself a lunch that my wallet was missing. I'm on the verge of, like, a breakdown because, you know, everything is really darn dramatic when you're a kid, and, like, you know, my debit card and the few little things were in there.
My mom's gonna kill me.
Yeah. And my friend Stephanie was like, hold on, I got this, and she calls home. And she gets her father on the phone, and she says, Dad, you're coming to Starbucks to get a mocha, and you're bringing the dog with you. So he shows up, not in uniform or anything, orders a mocha, and Stephanie asks him, do you have Scooter in the back? Yeah? And then she turns to me and she says, you got something that he can take with him for the dog to sniff. And I think I gave her the scrunchie from my hair or something. And then she hands that to her dad and says, you're looking for a wallet red in color between this location and Rita's home. And he just sips his mocha, heads out, and, you know, not even a half hour later, comes back with the wallet in hand. Is this yours?
That's impressive. It's like, Sparky, every little thing you've done is to prepare you for this moment.
Yeah, it fell out of my pocket really close. Like, I didn't cut through a parking lot, but I walked along the side of a parking lot, and it fell out kind of close there. So that explains why it wasn't, like, picked up on a sidewalk or anything like that. So
that is a cool story, actually.
That's the only time I've gotten the police involved in something in my personal life.
Oh, we still had some spells that we had to go collect that I forgot about. Yeah, we can do that after this.
Okay.
Pumpkin has broken the 800 health threshold. And Sunny's broken 400 health.
There we go. Keep that.
Remember back when Sunny had, like, no health?
Yeah, our tiny little glass cannon.
Yeah.
Sunny's just cheering, like, look! I'm over 400, and there's Pumpkin, you know, over twice that, just, you know, looking down at her, like, patting her on the head. Good job.
Well played, kid. You're still the squishiest, but well played.
If only Pumpkin in real life can have his health that high.
Yeah, he is getting old. He's a chonky big warrior, but he is getting old.
He is... Look, the vet did not state he was overweight. They said considering his overall bone structure and his age, he is not overweight.
I wasn't calling him overweight. You can be chonky.
He is pleasantly plump.
He's chonky.
He's not fat.
I'm not calling him fat. I'm calling him chonky. I think we're having a miscommunication here.
He's a big boy. He's 13 pounds, give or take, time of the day.
And that's why he's our warrior. Or correction, he's our knight now.
Oh, yeah, of course. He's a fighter. He's been through some rough spots. He keeps bouncing back.
He sure does. Yeah, no, we had to take a little bit of a break from playing there. And then I know we had some stuff come up, and it took us a little bit to get back on the horse here, but yeah, I had some spells I'd wanted to go check out and pick up, but then we got back on and I completely forgot about it. All I could think about was going to the sky.
Guessing there's no way that we're going to encounter a vendor at the top of the mountain. No, Pumpkin!
Well, we're in the sky, so probably not. And if they're all minions of Tiamat, the Oh, we've got Stona. The
Excellent.
Fiend up here, probably under orders not to help us.
Mm.
Oh, didn't even get that spell off in time.
Shoot.
Oh well, that's what gold needles are for.